Solid protection working against a four-man rush there.
Redblacks have really improved in this department this year. Second down conversions, fourth in the CFL. Lions rush 3. There's that dump pass again, and once again Jeremiah Johnson just scrapping and scraping for yardage right near the first down marker.
Well, goes to show you why Jeremiah Johnson is the Ottawa Redblacks starting running back right now, and it's taking nothing away from Siobhan Walker, just a different style of player. Johnson is a more physical runner, a more vertical north-south sort of player, but you see even when he takes these passes in the open field, it's like he's seeking out contact, not necessarily trying to run by people.
5.5 to go first quarter. You saw the first downs, all Ottawa right now. They lead 5-0, a safety and a field goal. BC brings the house now. Deep drop, Burris, and the catch is made near the goal line by Ellingson. However, a penalty flag back near the line of scrimmage.
And it looked like the Ottawa receiving corps may have been off early here.
Offside, Ottawa number 9. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
So they'll repeat that first down, 5 yards back.
And Ernest Jackson tried to catch himself as he approached the line of scrimmage, using his waggle in the slot.
Again, no huddle for the Redblacks. Henry Burris getting close to a milestone. 58,000 yards. Almost 150 yards away from that mark. Should get that today. Number 3 overall. Lifetime CFL goes deep. End zone here, and good coverage. Chris Williams in the sunshine in the end zone. Blanket coverage there from Stephen Clark. Moves into that corner position this week.
Yeah, straight man-up battle. Williams gets the outside release. Burris likes what he sees and puts the ball up right away and puts it in a pretty good spot. But Williams was just unable to stay with it here. And you see maybe the left hand of Stephen Clark may have affected the right arm of Chris Williams reaching for the football there. No challenge from the Ottawa sideline.
Play clock down to 3 seconds. They're going to have to hurry here. And they just get this off. Burris now stepping up in the pocket. Shoestring catch is made. Adam Bighill is right there to stop Brad Sinopoli. So once again, the best the Redblacks are going to do here after all their first downs they've accumulated and the yardage so far is another field goal attempt.
Adam Bighill, Mr. Versatility in this BC Lions defense. Played the Mac linebacker spot, the middle position, a couple years ago while Solomon Elimimian was exploring NFL options. With Elimimian's return and finding a way to get both on the field together, he moved to the will spot and excelled there. Now finds himself back in the middle of the action with the injury to his partner in crime.
We have another penalty here.
Procedure, Ottawa number 55. 5-yard penalty, repeat, third down.
What was a 37-yarder is going to be a 42-yarder now for Chris Milo. Redblacks have gone through a number of kickers this year and finally settling on Milo. Former Ryder, Grey Cup champion, a Vanier Cup champion out of Laval. Career 80% kicker. This one from the 42 for Milo. Kick is up and it is down Main Street. So the Redblacks, a couple of Milo boots and a safety touch, have an 8-0 lead. This is the guy that the Orange rely on. BC Lions, heart of the Lion, Andrew Harris. Well, there is John Beck. Nothing much so far. There's Travis Lulay. And so far, John Beck says he's had a lot of help from some great mentors in BC.
I try to compare myself to Trav. I can't because Trav's been up in this league for a long time. But it's been a huge blessing for me to have somebody like Travis and last year having Kevin Glenn, because both of them were very open with sharing information with me, with helping me get up to speed on the game, especially because in last year's spot, I was the number 2, and was new to the league. So I think they saw the value of having me learn things faster just in case something were to happen to Kevin. So I look back at last year and this year and the things I've learned from those guys, and I think that's helped me get to where I'm at now.
And you can often have situations, it sounds like such a natural thing that guys should want to help their teammates. I'll tell you, sometimes guys are a little protective of their jobs, can feel threatened and so on, particularly when you have a guy with the NFL resume of a John Beck pushing for a job. But it tells you a lot about Lule and Glenn recognizing that they needed to do what was best for the team and help John Beck get ready to play in this league.
Returned by Shaq Murray-Lawrence. So John Beck, and chatting with him, I got lots of confidence. Again, his last start as a pro football player was 4 years ago in the National Football League with the Washington Redskins. He has started in Canada, by the way, before. A game at Rogers Center, of course, when the Bills used to play against Washington. But he has not won as a starter in the NFL, but he was highly touted quarterback coming out of BYU. Travis Brown down on the field. Missed a few games at the beginning of the season, and they missed his presence.
But you can see Travis Brown already with that brace on his shoulder. Right on the left side of your screen.
And his shoulder just gave way right there as he tried to tackle Shaq Murray-Lawrence.
Brown, who was the starting middle linebacker for the Redblacks all of last season as a rookie. Again, began this year as their starter, but injured very early on. Malik Jackson, the veteran, former Calgary Stampeder, has stepped in to fill the void, with Brown just coming off the injured list and getting back on the roster.
Boy, what a tough blow. This sport can be so cruel sometimes, can it not?
Well, no question of that. It takes a lot of perseverance. Sometimes as you go through these spells, we've seen here in BC, Travis Lule's gone through it over the last couple of years.
Travis can certainly empathize. He had the shoulder issues. Then out of the lineup now for, they say, between 3 and 6 weeks with the knee issue. John Beck back in the gun here, trying to get this offense moving. That's the way to do it. Quick hitter to Manny Arsenault. Arsenault, who's been sharing some trash tweet talk this week with Javon Johnson, as we take a look at some of the starters to watch defensively for Ottawa.
You mentioned Javon Johnson, 26 career interceptions, among the active leaders in that department. Justin Capicotti, who led this team in sacks last year, got things going in week 10 with 3 against Saskatchewan. Of course, we talked about Sean Lemon, 13 sacks last year for Calgary.
And close to being picked as well downfield. Brian Burnham in the lineup.
Well, that's Antoine Pruneau, 2014 first-round pick of the Ottawa Redblacks, supplying the coverage. A guy who was drafted with a selection acquired from the BC Lions in exchange for Kevin Glenn. Former Montreal Carabin continues to do a fine job at that Sam linebacker spot.
Richie Leone's been the busiest Lion so far, and that's not good news for Jeff Tedford. 3 very quick 2-and-outs, and the defense is going to have to hold the fort here early on for the Lions until they get some momentum offensively, because they've got nothing going right now, and a special teams specialist, Jason Araki, makes the tackle. Wendy's Friday Night Football heads into week 13. These BC Lions are in Calgary to take on the Stampeders. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Stamps might be in a bit of a foul mood next week.
After dropping one last night against their Alberta rivals, the Edmonton Eskimos. That's going to be a great tussle to watch going forward between those two teams atop the West Division.
Saw that play with Brad Sinopoli. And Chris Williams now reversing field. The speedster gets a block from Sinopoli. I can't wait to see this one with your telestrator. Sinopoli, who is the former Heck Crichton winner as a quarterback, lined up in shotgun and then pitched it off to Williams. So a bit of a gadget here for the Ottawa Redblacks.
Well, for all the talk, if you go back a few years to wildcat formations where the quarterback moves and somebody else is under center in the quarterback position, we have so rarely seen it.
Having said that, Brad Sinopoli is a guy who's used to that position. He played with the Ottawa GGs, one of the best quarterbacks in the game, and went to the Calgary Stampeders, drafted as a quarterback, as Johnson is slow to get up and will go down and take a knee. And this is not good news for the Ottawa Redblacks.
Again, Johnson took over this starting position a couple of games ago for the Redblacks. He used to have the veteran Siobhan Walker in the backfield as well. Now, if Johnson is going to be out for any extended period, it's going to fall on the rookie Trayvon Van in that backfield.
Keep an eye on free safety Eric Fraser, 37. Right there. And double whammy, got a shot to the head. Also from his own player, as he was rattled against a leg. So Eric Fraser, guy who was with the Redblacks again last year and then was released by the team, was basically out of work. He's thinking about other things and then got the call from the BC Lions. Got a chance to play at home. Very capable defender. Johnson is up. Farhan will try to get us an update from the sideline. This could be a critical loss if he cannot go anymore in this ball game.
Yeah, he looked a little rubber-legged getting up initially from that hit.
There's Van out of San Diego, California. Again, went to Montana, then to Marshall University. So Johnson to the sideline. Redblacks back in formation. Burris wants some motion. Sinopoli in motion. 1st and 10. Play action. Burris now pumps it and decides to take it. Lunges forward. Tackled by Alex Hoffman-Ellis. Nobody was home for Henry Burris. A pickup of 5 yards.
Well, and I suspect that Trayvon Van is still learning that offensive system, as it's the rookie Canadian Keenan LaFrance in at running back right now at the University of Manitoba. Been with the Redblacks throughout training camp, likely knows the system a little bit better to hop in there.
There's Keenan, the 6th round pick of the Redblacks last year. Didn't start playing football until he was 15 in Winnipeg with the St. James Rods, then high school at Sturgeon Heights. And that ball is knocked loose. Big hit by Big Hill. Adam Big Hill knocked the football.
Well, one of those welcome to the CFL moments for Keenan LaFrance, as Henry Burris is scrambling, looking for an outlet here. He's going to find to the right side LaFrance, but Adam Big Hill sniffed that one out.
Bingo. Now the BC Lions defense helped lead their team to a win against the Alouettes last week. Get their 4th win. Forced turnovers so far in this game. They have kept the Redblacks out of the end zone. Still 8-0 Ottawa. Final play barring penalty of this first quarter. Big high kick here. And lunging forward. Minimal pickup is Chris Rainey. There is a flag on the play. A 43-yard boot for the Redblacks. Just waiting on the call here, and whether these teams will change ends and go to the second quarter or not. Safety touch early on, then 2 field goals from Chris Milo, the difference so far. You see John Beck still struggling a little bit to get this BC Lion offense going. Pretty quick start for him when he came off the bench last week against Montreal. But a couple of picks thrown in the second half of that ball game, so he's still looking to right his ship. They will call it the first quarter. We'll tell you about the penalty when we come back. 8-0 Ottawa after 1 in BC Place. In fact, the last play of the quarter, but we say maybe not, because as we went away, they decided that They will play one more play here in this opening frame after the penalty on the return, which has given John Beck an even longer field now. Ball spotted back at the 6-yard line, and somehow, somewhere, the BC Lions have to create something offensively.
Yeah, well, the field position hasn't helped them when you look right from the start of this football game. This is similar territory to where they took possession for their first drive of the game.
They've had 3 2-and-outs. Off the edge they come. There's a fumbled football, and it's Ottawa. And it's been a nightmare for the BC Lions offensively. Keith Sholigan pounces on the loose ball. Andrew Harris fumbles. An instant field position.
We have a fumble
and a chance to punch it into the end zone for the
quarter.
Redblacks. Here's Harris, who just lost it on the exchange. And Abdul Kanay and Keith Sholigan, the 2 Redblacks, fighting for the football. Ottawa has it. First turnover. And they have a chance to get to the end zone. So the teams will now change ends. That was the final play. They'll go to the other side of the field here at BC Place, and the Ottawa Redblacks will bring their offense on the field. So one quarter is complete. And there's Sholigan, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider, second year with the Ottawa Redblacks. One of the best interior defensive linemen in the game. Here are the first quarter numbers, and very auspicious for the BC Lions. 0 first downs, 0 rushing yards, and this turnover. Could not be worse. Burris now looking to make them pay, and Van runs into the rental sign.
Well, they thought they had a pretty good shot with that matchup. Speedy Van out to the left side. He's going to be one-on-one against the linebacker, Alex Hoffman-Ellis. Got a couple steps on him, but unable to pull that one in.
Ottawa number 3 in the CFL from the red zone. Toronto and Hamilton 1-2. Fans screaming for some defense here. It's been the Lions defense on the field a lot. Redblacks are going to take a timeout. Jeremiah Johnson is back in the game, so he'll come over with Henry Burris. And a bit of a miscommunication there for all that noise here in the dome. Burris will take the play back to the huddle. It'll be second and goal for Ottawa.
Critical field position, points at stake. They're willing to trade in that timeout to make sure they've got exactly what they want on here on second down.
Time of possession seriously favoring the Redblacks. An Ottawa team has not won in BC since 1990. Been a long time, and of course Ottawa was out of the league. Burris, though, clears the backfield, and another big stop for the Lions. Mo Price going nowhere. Josh Johnson with the big belt at the 10-yard line.
Josh Johnson running step for step with Price, and there you see him arriving simultaneously with the ball to bring Price down immediately. Loss on the play. Big stand there for the BC Lion defense.
Henry Burris and the Redblacks may lament all of these opportunities for touchdowns that have turned to field goals, but right now they are absolutely owning the BC Lions. Milo pours it through, and it's been all Chris Milo finishing off these drives. 11-0 Redblacks.
And for as many positives as there have been for Ottawa early in this football game, I know it's going to make Rick Campbell cringe a little bit that he's seeing Chris Milo out there kicking field goals rather than extra points. Leaving a lot of points on the field, particularly in that situation. Gift wrap the football so deep in BC territory. Well, I would say that one goes down as a win for the Lions D.
And second meeting of the season between these two teams. The Redblacks won the first. It was BC's first game under Jeff Tedford in Ottawa, 27-16. It was the second game for the Redblacks, who have gone 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 win right now. But the trend is that they go 2-2. But it's still a far cry from last year when the Redblacks were 2-16 in their inaugural year. Things are much different for the Rouge et Noir. Shaq Murray-Lawrence is back. Ronnie Peffer. Big boot. And here's Shaq. Following some blocking here, and another good return. A 26-yard return, and John Beck this time has some field position to play with, but they have got to get this offense unglued.
Well, they certainly do. And you know, we talked about John Beck in the pregame show and the fact that he's not your classic young quarterback making his first CFL start. This should be a situation where it's not a case of the stage being too big, the situation being at all intimidating. John Beck has played a lot of high-level football in his life. He's been in a lot of high-pressure situations, both in college and the National Football League.
2 of 5 for 13 right now. Has to hurry this out of the backfield as Brian Burnham. And Burnham on this sideline. There's a penalty flag that flew as well. Burnham with 9 yards, but let's see if this play will stand. Burnham out of Tulsa.
Holding. BC number 66. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Ever think that sometimes you got a dark cloud hanging over your head?
This one goes against the center, Jason Foster, and it just has to do with his hand position. He's blocking against a smaller player, one of the DBs, as he gets outside on this receiver screen. And you see big 66 right out in front, but the hands are out on the outside of the shoulder pads if he gets inside there, and that's a textbook block. But just that hand position costs him.
1st and 20. Andrew Harris comes to the line of scrimmage on a bit of a slant pattern. That was a predetermined play, and he doesn't get to the initial line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and long. Again, another throwing down here for the BC Lions.
And you look once again, as we talk all the time in Canadian football, about the importance of field position in that battle. And for the Lions, bad field position has very directly cost them in terms of having to give up a safety. In terms of the last field goal they gave up, they finally get a good starting point on this drive, but they back themselves up with a couple of penalties and mistakes.
2nd and 14, 4-man rush. Little crossing pattern. Again, it's Burnham, and Burnham leaping close to the first down. They'll spot him about 2 yards shy. And with very little momentum right now, might the BC Lions even be tempted? If they lost this 3rd down play, though, they give the ball right back to Ottawa in great position. They're not. They're going to kick it away. The fans want them to go for it, but they haven't shown too many positive signs offensively here so far.
And you got a glimpse of a little bit of what the Lions like about Brian Burnham, feeling that he's a guy that can do some things with the football after the catch. Much the same reason why Lavelle Hawkins is now in that receiving core in the lineup. They've gone away from the tight end look that they used earlier. They want to be a little bit more athletic, agile, have guys that can make plays for them.
Chris Williams back down and swarmed by the Lions. Nowhere to go on another big boot by Richie Leone. Lions have seen too much of their punter right now. Redblacks haven't seen the end zone, have had a number of good chances. And Ernest Jackson comes back to the place where he once played and starred in BC.